Welcome back. Now we're going to use those three properties, the product property, the quotient property, and the power property to see if we can simplify some log expressions. So I have 4 right here, and these 4 have multiple logs in the expression, and your job is to condense them into a single log. Well, first, it's always good to make sure they have the same basis, because you can only do that if they have the same basis. Good, and these do. They're 2's. Oh, these are all, it looks like 10's, because if there's nothing there, the base is a 10. This one is 2's, and then it looks like we got 10 again. All right, so first thing you want to do when you want to condense or make smaller is if there is a number in front, remember that was the exponent. So that could be flown up to be part of the argument. So now it's log base 2 of x squared plus log base 2 of y cubed. And remember when there was a plus sign, it's because the arguments were multiplied together. So what you want to do is write it as a single log with the base, and this guy right here is really x squared, and this guy really here is y cubed, and that is the single argument. They mean the same thing. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, we got 3 logs, and I want to make it 1 log. So again, if I see numbers in front, I want to fly them up. So this one becomes x to the 6th. This one becomes y to the 7th. This guy becomes 36 to the 1/2 power. However, if you remember what 36 to the 1/2 power means, it just means square root. So square root of 36 is really just 6. So this now is log of x to the 6th plus log of y to the 7th plus log of 36 to the 1/2 power, which is just 6. So if you see addition, same base, you can simply multiply the arguments together. So it's log. You can put them in any order. We tend to put the one that just has a number with it first if there is one. So it's the log of 6, x to the 6th, y to the 7th. That is the entire argument. All right, let's try the next 2. Again, same thing holds true. Glad I'm using a dry erase marker because I could do this. Fly that guy up there. So now it's just x squared. Fly this guy up here. So it's y cubed. Remember when it was subtraction? It's because these were being divided. And I like to say, to remind myself, subtraction means a fraction. So I'm going to rewrite it as a single log with fraction or division. So it's this guy divided by this one. So what was 2 logs became 1 log. Okay, same thing here. I'm going to fly these up. There's a 6 in the front, x to the 6th. There's a 7 in the front, y to the 7th. A 1/2 in front, fly that up, which is 36 to the 1/2 power, which is just 6. Okay, so I have 3 logs, same base. And if I want to put the 10 there, I can. Like, I can put a 10 here. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's this guy, x to the 6th, minus means you're dividing by this one, dividing by y to the 7th. Minus, which means you're dividing by this. If you're dividing by something, it goes on the bottom. Now, we don't normally write y to the 7th 6. You'd probably see it as log of x to the 6th over 6y to the 7th. I hope that helps with the quotient rule. Now, let's look at some examples with power. That had power and quotient rule. But now I'm going to do the reverse, pardon me. Now these 6 problems are single logs, and my job now is to expand them. When you want to expand them or write it as more than 1 log, or just to make it wider, you want to look for multiplication, division, or exponents in the argument position. Okay, so if I look here, you might go, I don't see any of that. Well, remember, square root is the same thing as 1/2 power. So this is the same as log base 10, these are all base 10 on the sheet, of y to the 1/2 power. The only thing you can do if you have an exponent is fly it to the front. So it's 1/2 times the log of y. Same thing here. I don't really have, I mean, I could say I have repeated multiplication, but when I have an exponent, I think the fastest thing to do is just fly that to the front. So you have 6 log of x. Okay, so moving over, now I have multiplication in the argument. When there's multiplication, remember you can separate them with a plus, so it's log 6 plus the log of x. So the factors are 6 and x here, and then you can break them up. And remember when we talked about how a log answer is just the exponent? Think about what you do with exponents when you're multiplying. Like if you had x squared times x to the 5th, what did you do with these? You added them. That's why we're able to do this as well. All right, let's look at the next one. If you have like a lot of stuff in here and there's an exponent outside, my go-to method is to make sure I raise everybody to that 4th power before I expand it. So it's log of x to the 8th, because remember we multiply exponents when they're on top of each other, y to the 12th. Then you can see you definitely have multiplication in there. So I can separate those with addition. So I have log of x to the 8th plus log of y to the 12th. And then you'll see you have exponents, so I could fly those to the front. 8 log x plus 12 log y. It's probably the widest you can write it. Okay, let's go to the next one. I have a single log, and I want to write it as more than one log. I see a fraction. A fraction means subtraction. So I would have log 10 minus log x. Now, this one I actually know. So if I ever look and I see that something's going to come out nice, when the base is 10 and the argument is 10, I could replace that with 1, because log base 10 of 10 is 1. I could say 1 minus log x. So all 3 of those are the same or equivalent. Let's go to the next one. It's getting a little crowded here, so I might do some erasing. I hope you've been writing these down. If not, you can always rewind. My last one here is log of x over y squared. Forget what number I had there. I'll just say it was 4th. Oh, a fraction means subtraction, but I'm not sure what I'm dividing, so I better make sure I distribute that 4 first. So it's log of x to the 4th over y to the 8th, because 2 times 4 is 8. Fraction means subtraction, so log of x to the 4th minus log of y to the 8th. Oh, I have an exponent. If I fly it to the front, it'll be even wider. 4 log x minus 8 log y. All right, so now that you've seen those, you can do in your packet 47 through 66. 47 through 66. Good luck, and send me a message if you need anything.